December 10th, 2025. Most people have no idea what actually happened during the U.S. operation to seize the Venezuelan-linked oil tanker known as the Skipper. Today, I'm going to walk you through the real details of how the interception unfolded, who carried it out, and exactly what aircraft were used. Everything you're about to hear is based on confirmed public information, with no unnecessary dramatization. The Skipper is a very large crude carrier, a VLCC designed to transport massive volumes of heavy crude oil across long distances. This type of ship is enormous, slow to maneuver, and built to carry millions of barrels at a time. The Skipper had been under U.S. sanctions for years due to its involvement in networks that transported crude in violation of international restrictions. Despite its sanctioned status, it continued operating in Caribbean waters and sailing near Venezuela. On this particular voyage, it was identified by U.S. authorities as the direct target of a seizure mission. What most people don't realize is that this operation was not spontaneous. It was a coordinated multi-agency effort involving the United States Coast Guard, FBI agents, Homeland Security investigations, and units from the Department of Defense. These agencies routinely collaborate on missions involving sanctioned vessels, suspected smuggling, or violations of international trade controls. But the most striking aspect of this event was the military-style approach used to take control of the tanker. The aircraft involved were not random patrol helicopters. The two helicopters that descended on the Skipper launched from the USS Gerald R. Ford, the most advanced aircraft carrier in the U.S. Navy. Whenever a carrier deploys helicopters for a direct boarding action, it signals a highly organized, precision-planned mission where timing, communication, and tactical discipline are critical. The helicopters used were MH-60s, part of the Seahawk family. These are some of the most versatile and reliable naval helicopters in the world. They are designed for maritime operations, including troop transport, search and rescue, anti-submarine missions, surveillance, and tactical boarding. Their ability to hover with extreme stability over a moving ship is what makes them crucial for fast rope insertion, the technique used during this seizure. As the Skipper moved through Caribbean waters, the MH-60 helicopters approached from above, maintaining a precise formation. Their rotors kicked up powerful streams of sea spray, creating a bright mist around the deck of the tanker. From inside the aircraft, the boarding team, made up of highly trained U.S. personnel, prepared for descent. These teams are experienced in maritime interdiction and know how to secure a vessel quickly with minimal risk to the crew. When the helicopters reached the correct position over the tanker, the teams deployed by fast ropes. Thick black ropes dropped onto the deck as operators slid down one after the other, landing in coordinated positions across the ship's surface. Their movements were deliberate, synchronized, and practiced. The goal in this type of operation is to take control of the vessel as efficiently as possible while avoiding escalation. Because the mission was planned in advance, the personnel knew exactly where to position themselves, which parts of the ship to secure first, and how to communicate with the crew. Meanwhile, the helicopters maintained their stationary hover above the tanker, holding position despite the wind and movement of the ship. MH-60 pilots are trained specifically for this type of precision maneuvering. Their job was to support the boarding team, monitor the deck from above, and stay ready in case extraction or additional support was needed. As the U.S. forces spread across the deck, they made contact with the crew and took control of the bridge. Operations like this typically focus on securing navigation control, communication systems, and engine room access. Once these critical points were controlled, the tanker was considered in custody. The crew, as is standard in such missions, was not harmed. They were instructed to comply, communicate, and remain in designated safe areas while the ship was redirected. The involvement of the USS Gerald R. Ford, a state-of-the-art aircraft carrier, underlines the significance of the mission. Aircraft carriers are rarely used directly in interdiction operations, unless there is a strong strategic or legal basis. In this case, the sanctions history of the skipper, the type of cargo it carried, and its operational pattern made it a priority target for U.S. enforcement. From a technical standpoint, the MH-60 Seahawk helicopters were the perfect choice. They can deploy boarding teams quickly, carry the necessary gear, stabilize over large vessels, and maintain communication with both the carrier and command units. Their versatility allows them to adapt instantly if the situation changes. That reliability is exactly why the U.S. Navy relies on them for high-stakes boardings. Once the tanker was secured, U.S. forces conducted standard procedures, verification of documents, confirmation of the vessel's identity, assessment of cargo, and inspection of communication logs. These steps ensure that the operation aligns legally with sanctions enforcement and international maritime law. After confirming control, the tanker was officially considered seized and placed under U.S. custody. The entire operation demonstrates how coordinated, structured, and complex maritime enforcement can be. People often imagine a simple interception or a Coast Guard patrol notifying a captain, but reality looks much closer to a military extraction. It involves naval aviation, federal agencies, special boarding units, intelligence coordination, and precise timing. Every step is calculated. Every movement on the deck is the result of hours of prior planning. The skipper seizure also highlights the capabilities of the U.S. Navy when it comes to maritime interdiction. Deploying helicopters from one of the world's most powerful aircraft carriers is not a casual response. It's a statement of operational capacity and legal authority. The image of two MH-60 Seahawks hovering over a massive crude tanker, lowering U.S. forces by rope, is a reminder of how serious these missions are and how carefully they are executed. In the end, the operation was successful. No injuries were reported, the vessel was secured, and the seizure was carried out within the legal framework that had been established years earlier due to the tanker's sanctions history. What might seem to the public like a sudden event was actually the final step in a long process of monitoring, investigation, and international coordination. And thanks to the involvement of the USS Gerald R. Ford and its MH-60 helicopters, the mission was executed with speed, precision, and complete operational control. And that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of how the operation actually happened. If you like clear, realistic explanations of real events, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and share this video so more people can discover it. And before you go, tell me in the comments, from which country are you watching us today? I'd love to know where our community is tuning in from. See you in the next one.